Parents are telling other parents, please beware when you send your children to the bathroom because there's predators waiting inside the bathroom.
What?
Yeah, I know. The bathroom. Adoption is tricky because you can end up with a child who was abused in the womb and you have no idea. Maybe that mother was taking drugs or maybe she was drinking alcohol, smoking cigarettes. On Splitsvilla, you have to connect with one person of the opposite gender to win the show.
That's true.
Now, whether that's a friendship or whether it's a romance, that's totally up to them. If a guy in the US told a girl, all girls are bad drivers, literally ek thappad milta tha. For new entrepreneurs out there, is learn every aspect of your business. Learn how to be the secretary, the editor, the CEO, someone who's doing inventory, learn it all. Like I met this beautiful French-speaking, gorgeous man, and then he opened his mouth.
Ouch.
And then it was like, bye-bye. You're really cute, but I gotta go. I'm Sunny Leone, and you're watching me on Hauterrfly.
ये देखिए सनी को ले आए हम लोग मेल फेमिनिस्ट पे। कैसी हो आप?
I'm good. How are you?
यार ये बताओ कि मॉडर्न डे रिलेशनशिप्स आपको समझ में आ गई हैं? Because
मुझे कुछ नहीं समझ आती है.
it's been close to a decade you've been hosting Splitsvilla.
Yes. और हर साल वो चेंज हो जाता है. So then no one understands anything.
नहीं, मुझे इस बार का बिल्कुल कुछ समझ में नहीं आया कि एक्सेस भी आ गए हैं.
Yeah. Imagine आपकी ex आपके पीछे. You would be shocked.
Are you in touch with any of your exes?
Absolutely not. There's a reason they're exes.
Nice, but समझ में आती है आपको आजकल की रिलेशनशिप सिचुएशनशिप्स वगैरह जो चल रहा है?
ये जो situationship, ये जो labels है, what I learned is South Splitsvilla में, is that our Gen Z generation of young people, सब चीज़ों में label लगा दिया, just sounds different, like situationship.
Yeah, we were
उसका
doing
situationship का meaning
shit.
क्या होता है? You're dating.
Or not.
You say, I'm dating many people.
Yeah.
But what? Yeah, but that's still a label, isn't it?
That's true.
हाँ, so वही लोग label लगा रहे हैं सब चीज़ें को.
आपको ऐसा नहीं लगता कि ये लोग बहुत जल्दी, no offense, कि बहुत जल्दी प्यार में पड़ रहे, बहुत जल्दी निकल रहे?
So I have a theory behind this. When you're stuck in a box with 10 people, 4 boys, 4 girls, all heterosexual, all single, all very, very young, your hormones are raging, you have 5 choices in front of you. You are going to, it's like human nature almost, if you're stuck together to
pick.
Have feelings towards somebody, to the opposite gender
Possible.
for this show. And especially when you know that the definition of what the show is a dating show and meeting somebody.
The whole purpose of it is.
Right. Like on Splitsvilla, you have to connect with one person of the opposite gender to win the show.
That's true.
Now, whether that's a friendship or whether it's a romance, that's totally up to them.
Yeah.
Of course, I love seeing 2 people like fall in love. It's the greatest thing because you watch that journey from the very beginning and you watch off camera as well, their body language. You know, it's one thing when you say that you like each other and the boy and the girl on camera holding hands, and as soon as they say cut, they're separated.
Oh, really? That happens also?
Well, you kind of get a vibe, right, of what is happening. But
or the reality maybe.
This season, I saw a lot of that off camera too, so that's good.
In general, dating, your zindagi ke time pe dating, do you remember how it was?
I had a lot of fun dating.
Yeah.
I was like, those kids on Splitsvilla. One of the things I used to do when I used to travel in the US all the time is the first day, this was before Daniel, is the first day I would get to like New York City, and I would totally okay with going out alone.
Oh, yeah?
And I would go, I'd find like either the hotel bar or some other one. I'd sit down, have a little bite, have a drink, and I would just meet people. And it was the best. It was amazing. Whether it was guys or girls, it didn't matter.
Yeah.
Like just was social and meeting people. And sometimes it turned into a great night, and sometimes it didn't. It just was like meeting nice people, So I think that's something that we're so used to looking and meeting people online that you forgot the art of meeting people in a bar and just like making friends.
Yeah, exactly, right?
It's not, what's your Instagram handle?
Which also happens now, by the way.
Yeah, that's completely happening.
You and Daniel, you're both one of those couples who are egalitarian at the household, ना? हम लोग दोनों काम करते हो घर पे, हाथ बटाते हो, right?
Daniel हमारे घर में खाना नहीं पकाते. there's a reason why.
Yeah.
और हमारे बच्चे को भी ये चीज़ पता है that daddy का हाथ थोड़ा सा is off in the cooking department.
Yeah. But he does the household chores, etc. Has he always been that person?
We didn't grow up here in India where you can have many people helping you.
Yeah.
We grew up in a household where we had to clean our own room and help out the household and do dishes and do your laundry and take care of your own house, yes.
Yeah.
And I think Daniel also takes on those roles where the kids do see him doing things. Like, हमने अभी vacation 2 हफ्ते के लिए गए थे and we didn't have any extra help with us. It was just us and our children.
Oh, really?
So बच्चे को, they had to take care of their clothes, they had to put their shoes away, they had to put everything into the laundry bag, they had to do certain things, take care of their own things. And they also see their father making them a sandwich. I also was making them. So things were pretty equal. So ऐसा नहीं है that वो मम्मी का काम है, ये पापा का काम है.
Do you consciously also then make sure that the boys learn how to share the load, etc. कि भाई तुम्हें भी ये करना है, सबको चोर तो सबके हैं.
If they don't, the boys, Nisha को ऐसे चाबुक मारती है. It says, boys, you're cleaning the bunny cage.
Are you also then, noticing puberty coming and like, are you worried about all of that?
Well, Nisha's 8.
Yeah.
She's going to be 9 this year. There are certain triggers that are happening in her brain and in her body right now. It's like pre-adolescent, so we are noticing some changes, but not so much that her brain is able to handle what those changes are yet.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
I don't need to explain in detail what's happening now, what's going to happen later, and then the next step and the next step. I'll just handle each step as it comes. So
that's your approach to parenting. As if they're curious, then you'll answer.
Well, not curious. If like there's something changing in Nisha, we just say that's just normal. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen to the boys as well.
Yeah.
It's like certain things are gonna change, and that's totally fine. Your brain is changing. You're becoming older, and then we leave it at that.
That's
so. That there's like small, minute changes happening. So it's not something so major.
जो good touch, bad touch वाली सीखें ये आप लोगों ने दे रखी है.
Yeah, this one I've given so much ज्ञान.
अच्छा ऐसा क्या?
So much, because the thing is, one of the things that's happening in the US right now, which we noticed this last year when we went, is parents are telling other parents, please be aware of when you send your children to the bathroom, because there's predators waiting inside the bathroom.
What?
Yeah, I know, the bathroom. So in schools or in public places, because it's very normal for a child in the US to just go to the bathroom in a public bathroom. It's not a big deal, right?
Yeah.
You don't think about it so much. And nice thing, in India most bathrooms have a bathroom attendant, which is great. But that's something that I have to teach them, and Daniel has to teach them that, listen, you guys are using the buddy system. You can go together. I don't care what you're doing. If your sister has to go to the bathroom, you're going to escort her to the bathroom. So much gyan I've given to these small kids. And I don't know if it's hate that a 6-year-old and an 8-year-old has to think about these things, but we have to teach them. It's not an option. And even for the boys, I tell them, don't use a public urinal. Go inside the bathroom, go use the bathroom, and then come out. Have your privacy. Because you just don't know who's around, you just don't know who's looking. So it's not just girls, it's boys and girls.
But ये सब सीखें आपको मिल रही है कभी से? You were all
हमको कुछ मेरे मम्मी पापा ने कुछ नहीं सिखाया. Like nothing meaning, but when I was younger we just knew, or maybe we just felt safer. I have no idea. I don't know. I think the predators have always been out there, but it wasn't something that my parents were so scared of.
But generally periods वगैरह की awareness कहाँ से आ रही थी आप लोगों को? Were you all discussing?
We learned in school. So in the US and in Canada, there's sex education, a part of the curriculum. So it's part of your school year.
It was a part of our curriculum also.
Oh, okay.
They brushed on top of it a little.
Oh, this was not brushed on top. They taught us it was like, you had to learn, it was part of the curriculum. You had to learn, you had to take tests on it, you had to learn about all sorts of different things. People from outside agencies would come in and talk about birth control or talk about protection and all these different things. So that all happened in school.
That's so cool.
Which I think should happen in every school.
Anna?
Because sometimes there's lots of parents out there that don't want to talk about these things.
Yeah.
It's uncomfortable for them. For me, I don't believe it'll be so uncomfortable. I don't know yet. I'm not there. So I think that it definitely should be taught by a teacher in a more clinical way, so that it clinically makes sense in their head.
Yeah.
Like there's just information put in their head. And then as far as the feelings and all these things go, we can address that personally.
That's so true. वो जो सवाल आता है ना कि surrogacy can't have mamatva as they call it or motherhood. वो नहीं है. I've known you 4-5 years now and I've seen you all be very very attached and extremely concerned about the kids just as much any other birthhood.
Yeah, I mean there's something very special about a woman who gives birth, and I witnessed it. It is extremely intense. And hats off to all the women who give birth to a child, because it's not easy.
Yeah.
And it's not easy emotionally, physically, and then post-birth also. But I don't have that feeling that, okay, I want to give birth and I would love that child more or less. So I love all my children the same.
ये बताओ कि जनरली क्या नोशन आपके हिसाब से बंद हो जाने चाहिए, लोगों को क्या बोलना बंद कर देना चाहिए अराउंड adoption or surrogacy?
Like I said, everybody's family is different, everybody's upbringing is different, their viewpoints, where they're raised. There's so many different factors that come into all these things. You know, adoption is tricky because you can end up with a child who was abused in the womb and you have no idea.
Yeah.
You have no idea if that, you know, maybe that mother was taking drugs or maybe she was drinking alcohol, smoking cigarettes, to a point that it actually hurt your fetus. So when the child's born, you have no idea, looking at that baby, that it's going to have psychological problems or brain damage. They look completely normal. So there's like a lot of different factors there, you know, so we just don't know people's reasoning at all. All I know is that I got the greatest gift from God, and she is it, you know, and she's a bright, young, beautiful, empathetic, loving child. She's extremely intelligent. I'm pretty sure that she's smarter than all of us. And she'll become some little brain surgeon. She'll have tiny little fingers and she'll work on someone's brain to make them better.
For sure, why not? We're manifesting that right now.
Yeah, so I think that she's extremely highly intelligent and will, you know, do amazing things.
Thank you for sharing. Very kind. We haven't spoken about you being an entrepreneur. वो आपकी एक जर्नी नायाब रही है मेरे हिसाब से. What was it in the beginning? मतलब टेंशन था, कितना डर था, पहला स्टेप कैसे लिया और फिर then navigating it आज तक कैसा रहा है?
I don't think there's like this thing of being scared. कुछ डरने का नहीं है. It's business. अगर कुछ सही होता है then you're happy. अगर नहीं होता, you just move on to the next thing.
Yeah.
I learned a long time ago this test. You test. You test something until it sticks, and then you go with it if it does. And I've always known that I wanted to own my own business since I was a young child, and I just didn't know what that would be.
Yeah.
So I knew my place in life was not sitting in an office. I still don't sit in the office.
You don't.
I hate going to the office. It's a nice office, but it's not my place.
Not there as much.
It's not my place. If I need to go, I'll go.
अगर आपको tips देनी होती to any female entrepreneur out there, what are 2-3 tips that you would give them who are just starting out their business?
Whatever you're going to start a business in, believe in it, have a passion for it. Don't do it because someone's asked you to do it. Understand exactly what you want, your demographic that you want to reach. And also for new entrepreneurs out there, is learn every aspect of your business. Learn how to be the secretary, the editor, the CEO, someone who's doing inventory. Learn it all.
Sunny, हम लोग financial literacy की बात करते हैं शो पे. तो generally, do you think what does that change in you as a human, having the awareness or managing your finances and running them?
I think like both Daniel and I come from completely different business backgrounds. His father was amazing at what he does, and Daniel, I think, is just gifted. I was not so gifted. I was like, oh, you're giving me $1? Let me go spend that $1 right now. And I didn't grow up with so much, and my parents gave us what we needed, not what we wanted. I come from very, very humble beginnings. So जब पहली बार पैसा मिल रहा, I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. Let's spend it. And then only later on did I figure out, okay, I got to save some of this money. I got to pay bills, or, you know, if I want to be independent. That was one thing my parents did teach us, was, you know, to be independent.
And was it difficult for your mind to kind of train itself to not spend but save?
Yeah, a little bit.
कितना कठिन होता है? क्या कर रही थी आप? how are you switching? What was the mechanism?
It depended on what that want was. So if the want was a really nice car, the first car I bought all by myself was a two-door Audi.
Oh.
And it was so nice. I was so proud. My very first car, my dad said, you save up half, I will pitch in the other half. That was our deal.
जो यहाँ इंडिया में तो काफी देखने को मिलता है, लड़कियाँ अच्छी ड्राइवर नहीं होती है, बाहर भी है क्या? Did you ever?
थप्पड़?
हाँ, थप्पड़. You should.
Yes.
That's the whole point of the question. थप्पड़ मारूंगा.
If a guy in the US told a girl, you're a girl and you're a really bad driver, all girls are bad drivers, literally एक थप्पड़ मिलता था.
ये कहाँ से आ रहा है नोशन? मुझे तो वो समझना है कि इसको बंद कीजिए बोलना प्लीज.
I think it comes from your parents.
Yeah.
It comes from where you're from and the things that are being taught to you. If you hear your dad say, "Don't throw like a girl," that's also very bad, isn't it?
Yeah, that's not good.
What does that mean?
Or don't cry like a girl. What is that about?
Yeah, I think it definitely comes from home, and we have to stop it there.
Yeah.
You know, and we tell, like, my kids are old enough that they have lots and lots of crazy questions, and we have to tell them, well, that's a person's choice.
Oh, they've
And
already started asking you?
my son asked me the other day, he's like, can a boy become a girl? I said, absolutely. It's not a big deal. That some people are born like that. They feel like they're not girl, or they feel like they're not a boy.
Yeah.
And I said, a boy definitely can become a girl, and that's okay. That's their choice. He's like, okay, but can a girl become a boy?
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, absolutely. He's like, how?
It's legit questions.
Because then he's thinking, oh, how does that happen?
Yeah.
You know, his thinking is a lot more like
Biological,
simple.
yeah.
And he's thinking, how does that happen?
That's
and
true.
I don't think he figured out the other one either. And I said, listen, you know, like they have to take certain medicines, and and it's a lot. I said it's very stressful. It's not easy, but it's better that they are who they feel they are on the inside.
Consent पे चर्चा हम करते हैं शो पे, तो how would you draw a line and say नहीं ये नहीं करेंगे या वो नहीं करेंगे, ऐसा सब कुछ?
I don't know if I've been in a situation where I've been like, I have to actually explain that, like, no, this ain't happening, bro. Or like, or this is happening. You know, I think it's more, I come from a time when you just met people, you talk to them, it clicked, didn't click. You just, you know, it's just a vibe, right?
That's so true.
I don't remember a time where I was like, okay, I gotta go. I mean, I've been on some bad dates.
Yeah.
And then didn't call those people again. But it's not like a situation that I thought about, like, these are my boundaries and this is where I'm drawing the line, or...
ऐसा कभी नहीं हुआ, चलो.
Yeah, because if you didn't like the person, you just left, right?
Yeah. That's so true. क्या है आपके हिसाब से red flag जो लोगों को देखने चाहिए, you know?
I think how you treat your family, how you treat your mother, your sisters, like the females in your family. That was one of my first date questions. So what's your relationship with your mother?
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's important.
So cool. Yeah.
Like, what's your family like? I think now's generation doesn't want personal questions to be asked.
पता नहीं मेरे को क्या है ऐसे.
I don't know either.
मतलब,
but I would want to know. I'm like, so do you have any brothers? Do you have any sisters? What's your relationship like with them? You know, how are they?
Any other red flags?
Hygiene.
Hygiene, बहुत सुंदर. सही चीज बोली आप.
Hygiene's a big one.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Yeah. Intelligent. And what I mean by intelligent is not if you have a degree in something. If you have substance and can carry a conversation. If you don't have that, like, I met this beautiful French-speaking, gorgeous man, and then he opened his mouth.
Ouch.
And then it was like, bye-bye. You're really cute, but I gotta go.
Yeah. Green flags के बारे में बता दो फिर क्या है आपके हिसाब से?
Like I said, intelligent, good hygiene. It's all the opposite. Good hygiene, likes her family.
Yeah.
Knows their own dressing style. That's also very important.
Are you still ever facing anybody judging you for your choices that you made in the past? And
I think everybody judges you.
Yeah.
I just don't let it affect me. And no one really talks about these things out loud anymore because it was just so long ago.
Yeah. I wonder why if they did also. Yeah.
It's fine. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion, and we all make judgments on each other and their choices. That's just human nature. So it's okay. Yeah. I'm not worried.
Thank you for being on the show. कैसा लगा आपको?
Good. It was nice talking to you.
Yes.
Nice seeing you again.
Thank you. Thank you, Sunny, for being on the show. This is the Male Feminist and me, Siddharth Aalambayan, signing off. You know, you have to just, hit that subscribe button if you haven't yet. Or bell icon भी दबा लीजिएगा. I know you're a hugger. Thank you.
Bye.